Hello, my darlings. Welcome back to Your Mind. Today, we're exploring why you should stop running away from your anxiety. I know it sounds like I'm going against all logic here. After all, who in their right mind would stay with the enemy? The answer is quite simple, really. If you see your anxiety as your friend or as your enemy, is entirely up to you. Everything is a matter of perspective. You choose how you want to see the world, and what you need right now is precisely to change your perspective. We cannot expect different results if we keep doing the same things over and over. Let's think about it for a moment. For how long have you been escaping? Did it work? If you're watching this video, I dare to say that it hasn't worked at all. In fact, chances are that it's gotten worse. Because it doesn't matter how much you run, it's always there, as close to you as your own shadow. So why not change the strategy? After all, at this point, what do you have to lose? My suggestion might seem totally mental, but I promise you, it works. And the reason why it works is biological. When you tolerate and regulate your emotions, you're creating the conditions the brain needs to keep on growing throughout our lives. In this process, the neurons change their shape, which changes the way they communicate with each other, making the process more complex. And it's thanks to this change that our behavior and our thoughts change as well. And as a result, we feel different. From the psychological point of view, the fear that comes with anxiety is like a monster, symbolically speaking. This creature feeds on fear. So every time we avoid what makes us anxious or what scares us, the creature grows. And in time, it appears in front of you like this gigantic, Lovecraft-like kind of monster. The image is so terrifying that it makes us believe that there's no freaking way we're going to win against it, leaving us with no other option than to run as fast and as far as possible to survive. Conclusion, there's no solution to our problems, and that's where you're wrong. Now, let's take some distance. Breathe, let's cool our heads, and think about it for a moment. This monster is a creature like any other. So it needs to feed in order to stay alive, right? So if we take its food away, it will weaken, don't you think? If the creature starves, it will lose its strength for sure. Now, this particular monster feeds on fear. Then, the only solution is to stop giving it our fear. How do we do that? Stand perfectly still in front of it, look him in the eye, and remember, this creature only creates illusions to scare you, but cannot hurt you. So, ironically as it sounds, there's nothing to fear. Here's the interesting part. Every time you face it, you're hurting it. And so this hungry, wounded monster starts to shrink. Every time it receives an attack from you, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. With every strike you give, your confidence grows, feeling that you can finally think clearly. Your movements become sharper, faster, and effortless. You start to feel strong, capable, almost like a hero from an epic story. Until the roles is reversed. And now you're the gigantic, all-might human, and the creature is no more than a small, defenseless being that can easily be defeated. While this adventure happens, your neurological network adapts to the changes you're making, reorganizing its structure. So, in a way, your brain changes. The vision of yourself transforms. And as a consequence, the way you move in the world also changes. And the world, in turn, will respond to it accordingly. Now, it's not just your neurons you're organizing, your whole world is. So yes, we can confidently say that the person who came out of this epic battle, it's totally different from the one who entered. You have transformed into another person. Sorry, my cat's screaming. Give me a second. What is it? Come here. Okay, meow. With this image, I want to show you that changing your strategy and facing instead of fleeing not only changes your perspective, but also has a huge impact at a psychological, biological, and emotional level. In short, if you change your perspective, then your thoughts change, and as your thoughts change, so do your emotions, because your thoughts trigger emotions. Well, allow me to clarify this with an example. If I say to myself that I'm an idiot and I will always fail in everything and will end up alone and miserable, I'll hardly feel happy, don't you think? Most likely, it's going to make me feel devastated. It will destroy my self-esteem, which obviously will make me feel small and insecure. But if I tell myself that I'm the greatest, most brilliant person ever and will accomplish everything and anything I set my mind on, I will definitely feel more powerful, capable, and more confident. Do you agree? This is where the magic lies. When you choose to change your thoughts, you're not only changing your emotions, but the way you feel about yourself. If you feel powerful, then what's there to fear about? And without fear, you'll see your true self, and you'll find and create the tools you need to overcome anything that comes your way. You'll succeed. You'll succeed in everything you set your mind on, in any goal. And you'll realize that you're way more powerful than you thought. And that, my friend, will change your whole world for the better. Remember, you're not alone. You're stronger and more capable than you think. Don't ever let anyone convince you otherwise, not even yourself. You can do it. I know you can. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.